I'm Daniel Grom, owner of Dent Dynamics. A few years ago I came up with motorcycle paintless dent removal, and I went to Ultra Dent Tools to come up with a set of tools. And this is the results of them. I'd like to introduce them to you now. The first tool that comes in the set is the MTO1. The MTO1 is a bendable tool. You'll notice that all the tools come with removable tips, 5/16, and removable handles. This makes it extremely versatile to use. This tool is an all-around tool, works on any tank, and it is bendable, so you can change the shape of it depending on your need. Next tool in the set is the MTO2, which is a sharp J tool. Also removable tips, removable handles. This tool I use mostly on vintage tanks. The next tool in the set is probably my favorite tool. This is the MTO3. This is a very stout tool. This tool is designed not to flex, not to move at all. And here I have the small handle put on this tool, and also removable tips. The nice thing about the removable handles on these tools is they're multiple adjustable. So you can simply remove it, quarter turn it, put it back on, and you can change your leverage angle. So it makes it very versatile, makes it very easy to get your leverage that you need. The next tool in the set is the MTO4. This is a double bend, tight double bend. This tool is basically designed so it does not flex at all. And you can get into tight areas, mainly around the opening of the tank. I use this a lot on vintage tanks. Again, removable tip, removable handle. And the last tool in the set is the MTO5. This is a large J tool. I mainly use this tool on a lot of sport bikes, your rice rockets, that type of bike. That's where this tool comes in handy. Some of those tanks have very extreme designs, so you need a tool something like this to get to some of the difficult areas. In the set of tools you have your tip set with a convenient holder. In the tip set you have a rubber soft tip. This tip is something that I usually start off my dents with, roughing it out, and then moving to more of a fine-tuning tip like you see in these three. The next tip is Ultra Dent Tools soft tip tool. This tip, you can use it as just a regular tip, or it comes with these soft tips that you can put on there, softening it up, helping you also get a little bit of traction when you're inside of a tank, because they can be a little bit slick. A blunt tip tool, and then a sharp tip tool, and two ball tips, a plastic and a metal tip. Favorite thing that I have in this set is the extensions. The extensions are something that dramatically changes your whole set of tools. Simply by putting on the extension, you change the geometry of the tool, and you can put two extensions adding onto it, and then your tip, which changes it completely, makes it very versatile. Something that I couldn't do without this. It really just makes all the difference in the world. And then the handles, it comes with a small handle and a large handle. Also in the set of tools is two fuel door opening protectors. These are very, very important. We have the regular opening. This is designed to fit into the fuel door opening. By squeezing the sides, it helps it keep it locked into place. And then the next one is the fuel injected opening. This mainly is for your Harley Davidsons. When you take off the beauty cover right here on the fuel injected models, usually 97 and higher, this is designed to fit into that opening. You notice that it has notches built into the sides here. This is designed to cradle your tool so it doesn't slip, giving you better leverage. This protects the paint and protects the opening so you don't bend it. Really, really important. And that's your set of motorcycle paintless dent removal tools. See you next time. All right, here's our first look at the Daniel Grom Signature Series Mpdr tools. The first thing you'll notice is your tools comes with a set of removable tips. And you can choose any tip according to the dent with your experience, but in 90% of the cases, I always start with a ball tip. I think this is the best tip to use to start off on a motorcycle tank. And these tips screw on very easily and screw off very easily. So here we have a practice tank. This is a Harley tank, lightly gauged metal, one of the easier tanks to work on. The first thing you want to do is, once you make your dent, is find your reference point. You have to know where the tip of the tool is. That's very important. It's very easy to lose your tip when you're first starting out on a motorcycle tank. So measure your tool when you stick it in the hole and try to find that point and start there. The next thing is not to rush a paintless dent removal on a motorcycle tank. I'll show you a little bit later what happens when you do rush it, but taking your time is very, very important. You want to raise that metal very, very slowly. So it's much easier to leave push marks when you're doing a thicker metal tank like this. So you want to be very, very careful when starting out. So get yourself a practice tank and give it a shot. Here we're going to demonstrate what happens when we rush the dent. I'm purposely going to rush the repair, do it as fast as possible, and you'll notice what happens when you do that. With the first push here, we're already starting to see the tip of the tool, and the effects of the push are dramatically enhanced with thicker metal. So it's very, very important to take your time, move the dent very slowly, raise it up a little at a time. Don't try to rush it. As soon as you do, you can damage it. And there's a good example of that happening right there. Now, the good thing about a Harley tank is you have a lot of clear to sand, and you can't get away with wet sanding and polishing out some of those marks depending on the color of the tank. This is also important. So sit back and watch what happens when we just take this a little bit too fast. All right, here we have a great example of a Harley Davidson tank. This is your typical tank, newer tank, fuel injected system. You can see when you take the fuel injected system out, you have a large opening. You have great access to this tank. This is one of the easiest tanks to do. I love this tank. One of the things I learned early on, I used to use a rag in here, try to protect it, but you can bend this edge depending on the severity of the dent. So I came up with this. This is a protector cradle. This is designed to fit inside here. It fits the majority of most fuel injected systems on Harley Davidsons. There are
a couple different size openings, but this is universal. It fits everything. And it's designed to cradle the tool. So when you put your tool inside, you find a notch, and it kind of gives you some stability so you can work on the dent and protect the edge. Really important to protect this edge. You don't want it to bend up because there is a gasket. If you bend this edge, it can leak. So it's really important to keep this safe. The nice thing about these tanks is they have a lot of clear on them. So some severe dents you might have to wet sand, but on Harley Davidsons they put a lot of clear on there. You have a lot of material to work with. Makes it very forgiving. If you're starting out and practicing, this is the tank you want to practice on. Go to a cycle salvage or something like that and find a practice one to work on. All right, up next here we have our fuel door protector. This little weird guy came up with to protect the edge of the fuel door opening. And it has a very specific shape. This will meet all the different shapes or different hole sizes. It should fit every tank that you come across. Here we have a great example of that with this tank here. Your typical fuel opening. This has a beauty ring that goes around it, and when you insert this piece in here, it's designed not only to protect the edge of the opening, but the edge of the paint around here. That's why you have this collar here. And it cradles the tool very nicely so you get good leverage without damaging any part of the tank.